Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's great to have you here again. As always, I really appreciate all of your support and your curiosity about my adventures with remote viewing. Today, I've got a pretty cool and unique target to share with you, one that holds a lot of mystery and historical significance. We're diving into the Dunhuang Star Chart in China. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, the Dunhuang Star Chart is an ancient map of the stars, dating back to the Tang dynasty around the 8th century. It's one of the oldest known graphical representations of the night sky and was discovered in the Mogao Caves near the town of Dunhuang, China. These caves were a significant center for Buddhist culture and learning. The star chart itself is highly detailed and offers a glimpse into the astronomical knowledge of ancient China. Now, in this session, I was drawn to the rich historical and cultural context of this star chart. There's something about the idea of mapping the cosmos so long ago that's intriguing. The people of that time were charting not just what they saw but maybe, in some way, trying to understand their place in the universe, just as we still do today. For this video, we're going to focus on the high-level facts from the session. I won't be diving into a deep analysis, even though, believe me, there are some fascinating things to uncover if we want to dig deeper into the details. Also, this is my first session with my new Remarkable Paper Pro, so you will see a bit of colors. This device is too expensive, but it's definitely a small jewel. If you work on a tablet and are serious about remote viewing, I can only recommend it. I have no ties with them and gain nothing for saying this, but I love it, so I'm sure a lot of you would enjoy it as well. Let's dive into the session. My first page is always my admin section, so let's start with my second page, which is my first remote viewing page. Let's call it the first page. On this page, we start right off with an arched, rounded structure, like a dome that seems to be made of glass in its center and with something showing as dotted lines in the middle. I probe to see what it is used for and get that it's for shelter and exposition. There are rare things stored inside. I sense the idea of a museum and deconstruct this to perceive that it is a building or a structure where something is exposed and people visit to see it. I perceive that this particular page is relevant because it shows the central place of the target. I sense that it's big, seems to have an underground aspect to it and also multiple rooms like galleries. Now let's have a look at the center sketch and compare it with the glass structure where the star charts are exposed. To me, this is a beautiful match and it seems like there is great target contact from the beginning. Let's move on to my second page. There I perceive some sort of triangle-shaped building that I call a temple and for which a smaller structure lies on the side as well. I sense as if there are scriptures on the smaller one. Let's take a look at the entrance of the Mogao Caves today where the star charts were originally found. It's not fully triangular, but I can see the shape resemblance and also, on the side we have the same similar pointy structure. Another interpretation could be the British Museum building where the star charts are exposed today. I don't see a match for the smaller structure there, but there is the triangular concept. I proceed to my third page where I try to perceive some biologics and movements. I get the idea of very affluent roads with loads of traffic and multiple direction possibilities. People come and go a lot. I then perceive the idea of something needing to be connected or bridged. A bridge needs to be connected, there are links and separations. It feels as if some action is needed. We need to build the bridge. Something is missing. Sounds like we need to build a bridge between those stars and create a map. I hear people debating and arguing over this topic. I try to probe for some words and get balcony and sightseeing. Not a bad set of words for stargazing and arguing on how to put what they were seeing in the sky on a map. On my next page I focus on a feeling of despair with attracting and pulling forces, in the void. I get the idea of finding meaning. Being alone and abandoned. The dark and nothingness. The only thing I can link this to is the star themselves. On their own, alone. We try to find meaning by linking them together into constellations. Let's move on to my next page where things get a bit more real. I get a sense of the curvature of the Earth and sketch this along with two weird things hanging above it. One square-shaped one and another cross-shaped. Let's look at this page in more detail. I get concepts of curvature, far away, vastness of space and time, altitude, and lost in the middle of nowhere. It feels huge, accomplished, and high. It's rounded, crusty with gravitational movements. I get Earth and globe. We are in outer space, folks. Let's focus a bit on the square and cross shapes. They do look similar to some main constellations. Let's look at some pictures. My next perception is of two weird symbols that look to be on a stick or structure of some type. One square and one in a moon crescent shape. I get concepts of symbols, sacred, ancient, religious and seeking. Let's remember that back in ancient times, particularly in China, the moon played a crucial role in both astronomical observations and calendar systems. The Chinese used the lunar calendar, which is based on the phases of the moon, to mark time. I believe that this is linked to it. Now, let's move on to the next page. I get concepts like connecting the dots, hidden in plain sight, mysterious, and seeing the forest through the trees. I get static sound and white noise. It feels logical but hidden, a bit dangerous, patterned and linked. It seems to be patterns out of nothing, like a constellation. I repeat, folks. Like a constellation. The sketch I have on this page is, in my opinion, simply amazing. I drew the concept of connecting dots, making patterns with colors. I'm amazed and love this. This sketch makes so much sense, and the fact that I named constellations just before it is really cool. Well, that was a great session. I still have some things to share though. I tried to find the location of the target, and this is the sketch I ended up drawing. By itself, there is nothing very surprising, but what is very interesting is that if we squeeze this map a bit, it's a very good fit for China. I find this correlation very intriguing. I then tried to probe for numbers and try to get relevant numbers for this target. I tried to get some GPS coordinates and I got 30.715, minus 120.241. This brings us to the sea on the coast of California, so not relevant, but if I just remove the minus from the second coordinate and use 30.715, 120.241, we end up in China, almost in Shanghai. And Shanghai is where an exposition took place in the Shanghai Astronomy Museum showing the star map in the dome glass structure. I believe this to be very interesting. Last but not least, I probe for symbols and get a single shiny point that I declare as a shiny point moving. Well, how would you describe a star if not a shiny point moving? Thank you all for watching, and I hope you found this target as captivating as I did. I took a lot of pleasure doing this session and loved the target reveal. If you enjoyed the video, please share it with others who might also find this mysterious star chart intriguing, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep wondering about the mysteries that surround us and stay curious. Who knows what else we might uncover?